Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Hopping on to do a live. Second time ever going live, so let's see who pops on today. It's my second time going live, as I said, and for those of you who don't know who I am Talzi. I'm a tarot reader, psychic, but also I'm a mindset manifestation coach, and I like to fuse law of assumption with tarot, and I like to explain to you guys how to shift outcomes and why tarot predictions are not fixed. And hi Lala, hi Mish, hi to the people that are joining, guys. I wanted to just carry on a little bit from the last live. For those of you who didn't catch me on my last live, I introduced some of the basics about the law of assumption, and also talked about tarot and explained how tarot is a really accurate prediction or picture of whatever it is that you are dealing with circumstances, situations, and people, and can accurately predict certain outcomes on the current timeline that you are experiencing or in your current physical reality. But I also explained that what I do with a lot of my private clients, and what I certainly explore more in depth on my YouTube channel, and I have not had the chance to do that on my TikTok platform yet, is I talk about how we can actually shift outcomes when we look at what our assumptions are, what our energy is. So let's just do a little bit of a quick hi Buff. Hi guys that are happy to see you live. You're amazing. Thanks Soul Desire. Nice to see you. So I'm on, I may even do a couple of readings for you guys, live readings, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuse into that some techniques maybe to explain to you guys how, if certain things are showing up, certain patterns or repetitive cycles, how maybe you can adopt the law of assumption and use the tarot more as a checking in point for an adjustment, versus feeling like you are locked into, say, a certain outcome. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, in the tarot community as well, and no dissing tarot, tarot readers and psychics are brilliant. They're very good at picking up energy, and they can definitely accurately predict things. But I want you guys to know that you actually have the power to change. So let's just do a quick breakdown real quick for those of you, because I don't want to be too repetitive for those who joined my last live. But essentially, when we talk about the law of assumption, the idea is that creation is finished, and quantum physics also talks about this, that essentially all possibilities exist at once. And until, say, a situation or a circumstance or an atom, for example, is observed, there will be infinite ways in which something can go. But when you observe things in a certain way, oh, who sent me the teddy bear? Thank you. But your observation then creates a result, right? So guys, the tarot is going to give you a picture of what is being experienced, and it's certainly accurate in terms of the people that you're dealing with. How do they feel about you? How do you feel about them, etc.? But there's still going to be a reflection of you. They're going to be you pushed out. So something that I want to cover that's very important in this live session is the concept of state. Now, when we talk about all possibilities exist at once, it means that all versions of you exist at once, and all versions of said, say, if we're talking about love, and I specialize in love, all versions of said specific person exist at once. And the experience that you're having is actually a reflection of the state that you are currently embodying. And what is your state? Your state is made up of your core beliefs, which are often subconscious, guys, which are then driving your daily thoughts, your actions, your inactions, your reactions, your assumptions about self, about love, about said specific person. And so essentially, to break certain cycles, we need to break habit of being old self, okay? This is when things are showing up that are unfavorable. And if we can understand that often we're making choices that are coming from a subconscious place, we need to make those subconscious choices conscious and select a new state, because at any given time it's available to you. So let's just say if you're in the habit of being self that has a pattern of rejection, or you're going round and round in a specific situation with a specific person, and part of you feels a lot of love, and the other part of you is experiencing what, is very common, like hot and cold behavior, in and out behavior, someone not choosing you, etc., etc. Well, I'd like to invite you guys to maybe examine how you might take your power back and not think that the cards are determining whether or not this person's going to change, and make the changes from within to select a new state. So who are you identifying as? So there is a version of you and there is a version of this situation that can play out very differently. If you want to take it away from the esoteric or the mystic or the law of assumption, and you want to break it down on more of a 3D kind of logical level, although this has nothing to do with logic, guys. If you look into the law of assumption, circumstances don't matter. It's really just everything is just right now a reflection of your state. But if you want to take it more to like a digestible third dimensional level, think about where your assumptions are. So if you're identifying as a person that's had experiences in the past where you've been hurt, you've been rejected, people have lied to you, people have cheated, you may even go into new situations with a certain energy and a certain assumption. What's this? Swipe right to filter comments. I don't understand much about how lives work, guys, so apologies if I look distracted from time to time. I want my twin flame back. Any help? Yeah, okay, Miss Ward. I think you joined the last live, right? I think so. Okay, so I did explain in the last live, I absolutely believe in twin flames. I do believe in soulmates. So there's a lot of people in the LOA community that are, you know, not really proponents of all of that, but I personally can't deny those experiences. I myself have gone through the twin flame journey. I had a twin flame activation, Kundalini activation. What I don't agree with when it comes to twin flames is to treat them as if, again, you're on a timeline with your twin flame. Okay, it's a very intense mirror. I already explained why everything on the outside is a mirror and a reflection of your state. So you're essentially reselecting over and over an experience, say, where you have separation between you and your twin. And so I think that the twin flame community tends to perpetuate this ongoing, like, unrequited love story, a story where, you know, things seem very impossible and then they need to heal and you need to heal and divine timing. And I don't really believe in that, guys, because if all possibilities exist at once, there is a version of you and your twin that are already together. There's a version of you and that person where even on this current timeline, things might have gone differently. They are a very strong mirror. They're a reflection of your beliefs, and they have their own set of circumstances and beliefs on the current timeline, but you have still selected them and that version from where you're at. So you need to go and you need to examine what you want to shift and change. Who are you identifying as? Now, the law of assumption essentially, you know, says that in order to manifest, so we're talking about manifesting, right? You need to be in the state of the wish fulfilled. So I already talked about what a state is. Who are you identifying as? Who would you be if you already had that which you seek? Okay, so Neville Goddard talks about this a lot, guys. So if you want to go and you want to do your homework, I know it's a hard journey, Miss Ward. It's a hard journey, I think, when you are going round and round in circles where the focus is on old state, an old version of self. Do you understand? Or when you are on that, you know, going down that rabbit hole of like the never-ending healing, and assuming, again, law of assumption, that you have all this healing work to do and that your twin, you're waiting for your twin to heal, to return to you. Take the focus off the twin and the story and the assumption that you have. Shift your focus onto you, which I think is what the twin flame community is getting at. They're trying to tell you that you need to heal and it's part of the ascension process. But I think that ascension is all about coming to the understanding that your consciousness, guys, like, so everything is your creation. You are the God of your reality, your experience, okay, is your experience, and everything is filtered through that. And your selections, like what version of a connection are you selecting? A person is going to show up like a character in your show and confirm whatever you assume about self and whatever you assume about them. And if we can take accountability and say things have been popping up in a certain way to reflect back, and twins are an extreme reflection, guys, okay? They're a strong mirror. They're going to reflect back maybe a lot of beauty, a lot of love, and then a lot of like maybe shadow stuff. So instead of focusing on reacting to the mirror, take the power back and say, I'm having an unfavorable experience and a trigger. All I need to do is identify as a person that doesn't have that trigger. So the trigger is connected to a belief. So when I talked about infinite identities, infinite states, who are you identifying as? A version of a person that doesn't have that belief anymore. And this is how you can shift your timelines. This is how you can manifest from a different identity. This is when you can shift states, and the outside then reflects back to you the state of having that which you wish. Now, guys, if you don't believe me, you can test this out in areas of life, because you're manifesting constantly. Everything that is appearing right now in your current physical experience has been manifested from you. It's not positive or negative, it's just very neutral, but the things you're having negative experiences with is connected to a negative self-concept or a belief. And if you shifted that, the outside, the mirror is going to shift for you. There's other things that are very neutral that are popping up because you just have thoughts running and they're just showing up. And then there's things that are very positive that you're focused on because you don't have an unfavorable, you don't have any resistance to it, or you don't have anything unfavorable connected to that, like a belief system. Now, we don't have to go on a never-ending healing journey so much, but we do need to recognize that if things are showing up that are unfavorable, you have the power to choose new version of self and say, well, if I'm the operant power, who would I be, right? And how would I think and how would I behave? But I love them. I love all the love coming in. Thank you so much. Who would I be if I were a person that knew that I was loved in return, chosen, worthy, deserving, etc.? Okay, and then how would I then be able to view said situation? And this is where circumstances don't matter, which is where we talk about, and this gets thrown around a lot in the tarot community, the Delulu thing, when you watch something that's positive and then you go into that state where you go, well, it's impossible. You know, try to focus on the positives, guys. The tarot is going to show you an accurate picture. So if the tarot picks up that you're, you know, in love with an SP, but they're at a distance, or they're involved with a third party, or even stories that are really hard to deal with, like there's been cheating, etc. Now, first of all, you don't need to entertain a crappy version of a person. And if you are upset about that, that's fine. And if you don't want them, that's also fine. But if you do want them, for example, you need to look at where the trigger is coming from in that particular situation. So if you're watching tarot and it says there was a third party and you're reacting, getting angry at the mirror, and you're saying F them, but I still want them back, and you're going up and down. If you want to change it, look at why something has appeared in your reality. And this may sound controversial, but again, guys, not everyone has to agree with me, but if you want to adopt the law of assumption and actually manifest change, you can look at said situation and say, I have a belief within me that I'm not enough. I have a belief within me that people don't choose me or they leave me. Now, that is exactly what has been created and manifested in my experience. And the fact that I keep having a repeat trigger connected to that situation and it's not changing because I haven't gotten rid of that belief and I haven't shifted into the state of a person that doesn't have that experience. How does Martina thinks about me? Respect and appreciate you. Okay, cool. How does Martina thinks about you? Okay, I will probably do a couple of lives in a sec, but I just want to get out what I have to say. Because even if I do these readings, guys, I'm still going to marry this in, okay? And for those of you that want to see how I integrate this, you can go and follow my YouTube channel, because they're much longer, more extensive reads, and I do all zodiac signs, but I always talk about this. I always talk about your specific person. How do they feel about you? How do you feel about them? But I also talk about law of assumption and how you can actually shift your perspective, your state, your attitude. And actually, guys, this stuff works, okay? And I wouldn't tell you if I hadn't tested this out. Test it out also because, like, wherever your awareness is, wherever your focus is, knowingly or unknowingly, things are appearing, okay? So imagine if you made the unconscious conscious, like the example that I gave you around feeling rejected, not chosen, etc., and you chose a new story, denying what is physically appearing in your reality. The mirror has to reflect back to you what you believe to be true, what you believe to be true about self. So it is about self more than it is about said person. However, you can explore a lot of brilliant coaches online like Sammy Ingram, and you can look at Manifesting with Kimberly and Kim Velez. They're going to all tell you the same thing, why circumstances don't matter, because one, reflection of state is going to be, it's who you're identifying as, your self-concept. And two, and I think Sammy Ingram talks about this and explains it very well, and it's very true, is that thought transmission and what you're focused on is going to manifest. So you can, in spite of circumstances, you can have someone conform. You can say, no, they love me, they love me, they love me, wherever your focus is. So if you're watching tarot and you're asking the tarot, well, are they going to reach out? Are they going to reach out? And your focus is they're never going to reach out. And then you're watching the tarot and you keep saying, oh, this person's not ready to reach out. Well, first of all, you're connecting into that story, and it's confirming what you believe. So this is the thing, guys, whilst I love tarot a lot and I am passionate, and I'm telling you it is very accurate to check in where you're at and can predict what will happen if you don't change anything, okay? It's one particular outcome out of infinite outcomes, and you can change the outcome if you don't like what's going on. And I always tell also my clients and everyone, like, don't be addicted to tarot. I don't even care if you don't want to watch me anymore, that's fine. But like, it's just a checking in point. So you need to examine if you're having an unfavorable reaction, or you're starting to give too much power away to the tarot, and you're starting to kind of like watch too many tarot readings and allow it to pull you up and down, thinking that the tarot is deciding for you what's going to happen. Then you need to just take a breather and go, I decide, okay? So that's not the story that I want. That's not my narrative anymore. I can see that that's what's happened so far. But if I adjust my state, my beliefs, there's a trigger there and something that's not nice, I want to look at what I want to shift from my self-identity, right? Like my self-concept. And then it's also much easier then, guys, not to get so reactive and angry at, say, said circumstance or person. If you wanted to manifest them back in and to be different. Now, again, guys, some people you don't want to manifest back, and you can call them whatever you want, narcissist, blah, 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 etc. In some cases, they are toxic. I never say entertain anyone abusive, but I'm saying it's going to be much easier for you to, if it's not that kind of a case and you want someone back and you love them, but you feel like, why are they not here? And you're feeling this rejection wound. What about if you were looking at yourself as someone that's not rejected, that is lovable, that is enough, and then you reselect, and I talked a lot about selecting versions because all possibilities exist at once. You will be able to see that person naturally, assumptions, law of assumption. It's going to be your assumption that that person chooses you, and energy is very real. And on that timeline, that is the way that things play out. But your energy is focused on old story and old state. Not an easy task to learn you are loved and lovable all the time. Yeah, totally. But you are love. Like essentially at the core, we all, at soul level, we're all love, right? So the love that you feel for someone's very real. And then often what happens is when we get, this is like hot and cold behavior, quote unquote. A lot of these are like labels, guys, because remember, everything is a perception. So for example, let's not talk about very extreme circumstances, but say you're dating with someone and texting goes in and out. Like, how are you filling in the gap of like a communication? If you've had past experiences or childhood trauma, doesn't even have to be that extreme, or old experiences that have reflected back to you that you're not, that you don't get consistency, or there's a rejection wound, then you're going to even go into new circumstances with an old state identity and a belief and an assumption about how people relate to you in love, and it's going to continue to appear that way. So just say someone is not texting you, and so this is where we get those anxious attachments or whatever the labels are, right? So then you're filling in the gap with, oh, they're going cold, oh, they're hot and cold, right? Like, what about if you had a different, not an unfavorable meaning attached to interactions with people? So then again, also, what if you could consistently assume, so being in the identity or the state of the person that doesn't even have a belief that's unfavorable anymore when it comes to you being lovable, being enough, and making assumptions that a person loves you from the get-go. And this is where people say, oh, that's Delulu. So why is it Delulu to operate from a place where you assume that you're loved versus you assume that you're not? Your experiences before confirmed something that was running like a program in the back end, subconsciously potentially, that you're not enough, and was confirmed. And now, in order to get a different experience, well, maybe you do need to be quote unquote delulu. You need to shift your focus to something that doesn't feel natural to you, right? So this is why coaches recommend things like affirmations, visualization, etc. Now, it's not because those techniques are the power, okay? You are the power. It's the I am. Who are you being, okay? But when you do these techniques are meant to help basically hypnotize you to embody that identity, that state, that feels natural when it hasn't felt natural before. So even then, when it talks about affirming for an SP, they love me, they love me, they love me. Well, you've had an experience where that person broke up with you. It doesn't feel very natural that they love you because you have an association with that breakup, that you've been rejected, etc. So the affirmations are getting you into the state of believing, no, they love me. And also, thought transmission is real, guys. If you don't believe me, then test this out with places where you don't have a lot of resistance or block. Pick random things that you keep repeating in your mind, okay? Tell yourself, wake up every day. I always give my clients these random examples. Pick something where you don't care either way. Maybe you want someone to say something about your hair, and you wake up every day and you're like, everyone always tells me I have the best hair, I have the best hair. Why is my hair so beautiful? Everyone keeps looking at my hair and telling me that it's amazing. Someone will parrot back to you very quickly, oh my gosh, your hair looks amazing. Okay, childhood wounds, moderator, okay. My moderator is blocking people. Too bad. Childhood wounds, yeah, the childhood wounds, it is very tough. And I'm not denying trauma, guys, and I wouldn't be doing the work that I did if I hadn't been through my own personal experiences. But I have to tell you that, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot, right? So it's like, in order to have a new experience, you have to create new neural pathways. You have to think and feel a different way, right? So you're breaking up with essentially old identity, old version of self, and the wounded version of self also, it's very hard. And I'm not dismissing trauma, guys, like I know it personally, but if we keep doing this never ending, going back to, I need to do more work, I need to do more healing, you keep identifying with state and of person that needs healing. And this is often where people get blocked when they want to see a shift with, say, a specific person or something in their life. They're operating from that place where if things are not changing immediately in their environment, they're like, well, it must be because I need more healing. And so, as I explained to you guys already, you've got to take a really staunch approach to the idea that, and again, this might be you suspending your disbelief. Sammy Ingram talks about this a lot, but it's like, if all things exist at once, if you have a desire, it already exists. It's not that it's like you've thought of it and it might be a nice idea. You and said person having a certain type of relationship, that exists. There's also a version of you where that doesn't happen that way, okay? So in order to select that, you need to identify as the person as having that. And if you're focusing constantly on past events, past experiences, even past experiences with a specific person that continue to trigger you, hurt you, which by the way is coming from the story that you're embodying that is connected to old version of self, which has popped up potentially for some of you because of childhood wounding, well then how do you have the new experience? I'm doing so well, but got triggered last night. Doesn't matter, sweetheart. You know what? This is the other thing. We don't need to be scared of our thoughts, and you will get triggered on some days and you will have crappy days. State what you're embodying. Remember I said you have infinite states available existing now, okay? You can shift in and out of states. This is where we have to be, like we realize with the magicians. So the truth of the matter is, you know, even if the mirror, which is the outside, gets a bit wonky and that's our trigger, we can get triggered. And then we can also take a step back and go, okay, I got triggered again because that's a bit of my old self, my old identity that's popped back up, but I'm also selecting new identity, and you can course correct. Nothing matters, guys, essentially. The mirror will shift for you. People will come back and they'll completely conform or shift for you if you shift state, okay? My desire is my SP to message me, text me 8 months, I believe every day, but ready for it to happen. So say it's happened. say it's happened. It's already happened. There is a timeline where this person is texting you. So look at the block, like, and don't overemphasize the block. It's not that hard. Manifesting, as I said, some things are manifesting so easily. You can trust that you're a master at manifesting. Your thoughts are creating your reality, right? So it's not about like saying they're texting me and then you're looking and it's not there. You get to a point where you understand that you're the creator. And so you say, no, they're texting me, and it feels very natural, and it will happen. Okay. It happens. It's all about how fast we can notice and work through things differently. Yes, that's true. You know, it's, and we have blocks in different areas, and we're all like battling our own, you know, like we have identities. That's why certain things trigger me and certain things trigger you, and they're different. And that's a perfect supporting point to what I'm saying, is like everything's being filtered through our own personal story, right? Who we're identifying as. Why would something bother me, or why would I have a certain experience with a certain person that you wouldn't have with them, or a view of things, right? Childhood traumas are real triggers. They are. They really are. But the question is, do we want to continue to feel that and feel that and feel that and feel that, or do we want to be able to have new experiences, right? How to pull back your energy from someone, please? Well, how do you pull your energy back? Well, I understand what you're trying to say, as in, yeah, I dream of him every night. I get it. I've been there too. I have very intense like dreams as well with people that I have strong soul connections with. I would say, first and foremost, when you say, how do I pull my energy back? What is the reaction that you're getting, feeling that connection? Is this like an unfavorable thing because you're feeling them, but then you're feeling like, oh my God, why are they not here? Because then that's also inviting you to look at, all right, what state am I embodying? I mean, you can practice techniques if you want to pull your energy away from someone, and I definitely understand, because I'm sensitive and I can feel people, not just like soulmate, romantic people, but friends. You know, we all have telepathy. We can be tapped in, right? Like you can apply discipline to shift your focus and just focus on something else. But if you're feeling like you're going round and round and someone's pulling on you and you're having a negative reaction, it's because you're being invited to look at, where's my negative reaction coming from? It's something to do with my old identity that this person's reflecting back to me that's not very nice, right? Like, why are they not here, or why are they pulling on me? Or if you had a toxic situation with them and you haven't resolved that, you're still looking at the mirror and getting maybe frustrated. You're going, why are they pulling on me? Why won't they go away? I would invite you to look at what it is within you that's not feeling nice and resolve that for you so that you're free. I just can't get him out of my mind. I know what that's like, honey. But I would then, you know, it is mental discipline. So I would think about like, okay, I can't get him out of my mind. What I'm picking up is that you probably, there's love there, right? But it seems a bit impossible or something like that. So why don't you just like create a new story about it and make new assumptions? I can't get him out of his mind because he's thinking about me constantly. He wants me so much. He texts me every day. You have to let it go. What is meant for you will be yours, and you have to truly believe that. The letting go thing is sort of like this controversial topic in the LOA community. It's up to you. Letting go per se, it's not that you can't be focused on your manifestation, because as I said to you guys, wherever your focus is what grows or what crystallizes. So this is the thing. If you're unknowingly or knowingly focusing on a lack, like something's not there, well, that's what keeps growing and growing. If you're focusing intensely on something being there, then it materializes. But if you're focusing on something being there from a place where you're obsessing that it's not there, do you see where there's a difference? Like, you can focus on something and say, I have it, I have it, I have it, because you know that you have it. You're already identifying as a person because you know that because you wanted it to exist, all things exist at once. Then you can continue to focus on it and it feels really good. You're like, yeah, I know it. I have it. I have it. I have it. Even if it hasn't materialized physically yet, I'm already on the timeline because I'm embodying the state. I'm on the timeline where all the pieces are moving around anyway that are giving me what I want. It's there. Love your perspective, knowledge, and delivery. Thank you. Right. Focus positively, not the negatives. Yeah, guys. So, I mean, I just feel like as a matter of responsibility, you know, as a tarot reader, as a psychic, and I definitely get to do this with my clients, and I definitely do this more on YouTube. I just want to, you know, help you guys a little bit to not just feel like you're watching these little mini readings and obsessing all the time, you know, that they're deciding for you what an outcome is. And I do see like there's a bit of toxicity, and it does hurt me a lot sometimes when I see like the comments where people are getting really frustrated and they're saying, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. First of all, I never tell you, I never encourage anyone, you don't need to wait for anything or anyone. Okay, live your life. But by the way, things can materialize, anything can change in a moment, but the obsession with something not being there is not going to change anything for you, because you're in a state of a person that doesn't have what you want. And who are you identifying as? You're identifying as old self. You're identifying as old self, where SP has gone cold, ghosted, rejected you, chose someone else, doesn't love you. Then you're torn up and down. Tarot says that they want me, but that they're going to come back. Why haven't they come back? Tarot says that they want me, but they're still with third party. Okay, so if you can't watch the tarot without that pulling you up and down, then don't watch the tarot. Go and focus on your mindset and changing the story. If you can watch the tarot and say, well, this is resonating because this is my current reality and timeline out of infinite, and I'm a creator and they're me pushed out, and I can select a new reality, then I can say, okay, good checking in point. Yeah, of course they love me. And, you know, I mean, there are coaches that will recommend that don't even focus on the fact that there's third party or circumstances, because circumstances don't matter. I might sound nuts, but I agree with them, guys. Whatever you focus on grows. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of gifts coming through. It's very sweet. Just got the #1 glitter badge. Thank you. Follow the line. Okay. Are you gonna draw cards? I'll try anything. Me too. I agree. Am I going to draw cards? Look, I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to stay on today again, because I'm a little bit exhausted because we have the eclipse coming in tomorrow. And I have to tell you, I haven't been feeling very well. How's everyone else doing with the eclipse? Are you feeling these energies? I don't know. I was feeling like quite weird the last couple of days. I want him to talk and meet for fun or leave me the heck alone. Okay, all right. So love, live life. Can you see how you're in half-half? And this is also where, so we're always manifesting, guys. So if you're focused on a person, you will probably get like a text, or you'll get something, but it's going to go hot and cold, or it's not going to be 100% what you want. That's why I'm saying focus more on what is your desire. So you want them to meet you, have fun, you want them to be consistent, you want them to be reliable, whatever it is. Change perception of self. Who are you identifying as? You're identifying as version of self that has that. And then you will make assumptions about that person, because this is where I see also, it's like people can manifest, you know, they haven't spoken to someone in a little while, and then they are manifesting because they're focusing on them like a text or a communication. Then they get a communication, and then the person goes like quote unquote ghost again, and then they get really angry. They're like, I knew they would do that. It's because you're operating from a state where you are assuming that you get hot and cold behavior, or you're already also filtering everything, all of even the text itself. How are you receiving a text? Is it like, oh, I just got hi? I didn't get like, hi, most beautiful princess in the world, I've been missing you so much. You know, because you also, imagine if your natural assumption is that is already how they feel about you. Well, the hi, you would respond very differently with your energy, and then they would respond differently, and you're already shifted into a different version of connection with a different, you know what I'm trying to say, guys? Today I'm quite strong and motivated. The sun always helps to rejuvenate. Gosh, I'm jealous. I'm quite tapped out. I was telling the chat I put my twin flame on my vision board. Yeah, do vision boards. I've never, personally, guys, I don't do vision boards. I'm more a scripter. So I like to write things out. I like to do affirmations. Love your tarot card screen. Thank you. A friend of mine bought it for me for my birthday. It's a really cool present, isn't it? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted too, Wags. Jeez. Aunt joined. Yeah. So I know everyone wants me to pull cards, and I said I might do some cards for people, but like, I actually woke up with a headache and feeling kind of a bit sick. But again, I wanted to talk about this stuff. I feel like I want this to be very understood moving forward, because I really want to do this. If you go to my YouTube and I'm not like plugging myself, guys, it's your choice if you want to or not, but if you go and subscribe to my YouTube, you will understand a bit more how I do readings, but without just like straight yes, no. Is someone going to come back to me? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? Now, our chat here today is great. When did you learn tarot? You know what? I had a babysitter when I was very little, like about 2 or 3 years old, that was a professional psychic and an astrologer. And we used to play with tarot and whatnot as well. I didn't actually learn tarot until about 2018. I always had psychic gifts when I was small. So I think she was kind of like a destined soulmate, was meant to be in my life. But I had a pretty conventional life. I had parents that are not into this stuff at all, and I was kind of pressured to go in a different direction. And then I had a full-blown, through a twin flame activation, guys. I had an awakening in 2018 and all my gifts came through, and then I picked up tarot and I couldn't put it down, and it's just that this is what I've been doing ever since. It became like my obsession. I'm self-taught, so, oh, you're so beautiful, thank you. Can you predict my future? Do you do collective? I do, Sonbon, I do collective readings, love zodiac readings on my YouTube, and talk about Law of Assumption on there. Thank you, you love my t-shirt. So this is my merch, guys. It's Empress t-shirt, La Imperatrice. So I have a tattoo here, which is for the Empress, right? It's in Spanish from the time that I lived in Mexico when I was going through my dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening. So there is actually a sale on my merch, guys, at the moment, 50% off. If you go through the link in my link tree, all unisex tanks and tees, Empress tees, and you just need to use the code Empress1111. Hi, and Claudia, could I have a card, please? How do we know on YouTube which one is for us? Well, they're all zodiac readings, so you'll know which one. I think I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So you would do like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, whichever one you want to look at, and cross-watching. I have to go, but thank you. Oh, thank you so much, love, live life. Yeah, thank you for joining. I've been through Dark Night, now the second time. It's an effort, isn't it? Sorry, I can't swear on lives, guys, but I swear like a sailor normally, so I'm holding myself back. The Dark Night is hard. Essentially, sweetheart, I have a very different experience, impression from when I started my initial spiritual awakening to now, because I had that twin flame journey in the experience, and I did have Dark Night of the Soul, and I continue to have sort of those periods of like transformation where things feel very intense. Not quite like those initial dark nights that I went through. They are shedding of the ego, but now I'm understanding more and more that what is this shedding of the ego and awakening? It's understanding that your consciousness, so that your thoughts are creating your reality, and that we can select new versions of self. And so don't feel discouraged, and don't feel like you have to be on this never-ending healing version of you. I think it is shedding of the ego and understanding that there is no separation between you and the universe, you and anything, anyone, because your consciousness, but also that your thoughts can create your reality. So choosing a new story about self, embodying a new identity, right? How do you know you are doing assumption, not attraction? Okay, so I would say the difference, and I'm not going to diss law of attraction, but I'm much more of a proponent of law of assumption, and I'll tell you what I think. And Sammy Ingram talks about this a lot, guys, so you can check her out on YouTube. She's fantastic. But what I think with the law of attraction is that there is sort of this emphasis on almost like still a bit of a division, like you are wanting something to come and you're calling it in towards you. You're trying to attract it in, and then there's all this stuff about divine timing, and if it's meant to be, it will be. Whereas the law of assumption is essentially telling you that at this very moment, everything exists all at once. So you already have it. So if you have decided you have it, you have it. There's already a version of self that has it. Now, if you can embody the state of having that and accepting that and understanding that you're God of your reality, right? So your entire experience is dictated by who you are identifying as, and then everything that's popping up is like a character in your show, you're writing the story, right? Then you're aligning as being the person that has something, accepting that, and it will materialize because it's already there. Okay? Next into Rose. Follow the live creator. Girl, you are my absolute favorite. Oh, thanks so much, Ada. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. I know you guys probably want me to do the cards as well. And I want to, but I don't feel well. I love the love hearts. I don't feel very good today. I'll be honest, like with the eclipse, I woke up and I felt like headache. I felt nauseous. And I haven't been very grounded this weekend at all. Miss Ward, please. Oh, you want a card? Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, sad face. Okay, Miss Ward, you know what? I'm going to do one, guys, and then I think I'll hop off. I'm going to do it for you, Miss Ward, all right? So you wanted to know about your twin flame, is that right? With attraction, you saying that you keep, they're going too fast. Hi, could I get a card pulled? Feeling low. Sunborn. Miss Ward, I'm going to do one for Miss Ward on the twin flame situation. Okay, so let's just take a look. I'm going to get some of these for you. Four of Pentacles, Miss Ward, holding on but withholding. So this is sort of that energy. You're not where you want to be yet with that Hierophant card. Spiritual connection for you. Are you at a distance from this person, Miss Ward? Because the Chariot card, Knight of Pentacles, very, very slow. Slow energy, slow and steady, right? It's the twin flame story. It's taking forever. King of Wands, Hierophant card, Page of Cups. Okay. And then we have the Three of Wands. This is you waiting for your wish fulfillment, but you're not feeling chosen, Miss Ward. There's a wound there. You're not feeling chosen. There's a block. There's a wall. Okay. I have a question as well, Miss Ward. Is it my twin or is it in my head? Sweetheart, only you know if someone's your twin, and I don't tell people. I know what it's like to feel and go through those experiences. But I would say, who cares about the label anyway? Do you want the person or do you not want the person? In the end, they're just going to be reflecting back to you whatever your story is about self and about them. Now, the truth is, if you shift into the version of self, if you're having an undesirable experience, there's a wound here, okay? This person, you're not speaking, there's a wound, there's a blot, there's a wall, there's a lot of confusion I can see, because you said, yeah, so you're in love with him, but then you're like, is he, isn't he? So there's a part of you that feels like you love him, and then there's a part that feels rejected. You feel like he doesn't really love you, he's not really choosing you, and you're sitting here and you're waiting for him to really choose. And so I would say that this going round and round is the part of you that believes that you're loved and chosen, and then the part of you that has a bit of a story about not, and he's reflecting that back to you. Nine of Cups, wishes fulfilled. So here's your wish fulfillment. 2 years, I can't get over him. Well, change the story to, in the very least, you've got to set yourself free from this old story. This is why things go round and round and round. Is he in another relationship, Miss Ward? Because the Hierophant card's coming up. And there's Seven of Cups, there's confusion. Or there's confusion about commitment. Miss Ward, I so miss Jerry. I don't know. I can't see what the answer is. 2 years, I can't get over him. I don't think he is. Let's get you a Messages of Love Oracle and see what's going on. Different pages. There's confusion about commitments and stuff. So right now, you and this person, it's like you're not sharing the same vision. Now, I'm not telling you that again to trigger you, please. This is the version of the person that you're selecting, okay? So you keep looking back and you keep looking back at what you've experienced with this person. 2 years, you said you can't get over him. So whatever happened between the two of you, I feel like this person wasn't giving you everything. They were indecisive, denial. They were showing up one way, like there's the denial, right? So it's like the hot, the cold. They seem to love you, then they seem to not love you. Giving you mixed messages. Contact me today. Oh, sorry, guys, it's so hard. You're spot on. So, right, Miss Ward. Sorry, I'm trying to just only focus on Miss Ward right now, so it's confusing with all the comments. Protected. So you're divinely protected. So there is a divine connection here. It says a new love, which means that there is possibility to have a renewal of the love. Miss Ward, there's also possibility always for you to have another love. And I'm not telling you that to trigger you, like telling you that you can't have this connection. I'm telling you that you need to shift the story and the state. Like, what about if you went away and you made an assumption that this was not how it has been, like that you already have this person, but you're going to need to make the decision. Balance. One person is giving more to this, one person is giving too much in this relationship, and then you've got the patience card. Now, what do I think about patience, Miss Ward? I think you have a story or a belief that this is like that unrequited divine timing, which is a lot of what the twin flame community is going to tell you, and you're focusing very much on him. He's got a wall and a block up, right? I can see wounding here, 9 of Wands. And you're thinking about, is he going to heal and is he going to come back? Stop focusing on him and whether or not he's going to change and heal. You're anchored into an old story about this person, and you need to shift, take the focus off him, change the story of who he is, change the story of who you are. And I would recommend to you guys to go towards checking out some of the coaches online that I always recommend, like Dylan James, Kim Velez, Sammy Ingram, Manifesting with Kimberly, and they will help you to get into the state of having that which you would desire. Okay, so you have a desire with this person, you love this person, then you're going back and forth. I can't get over him. Then you're thinking back that he doesn't want you. So this is where the confusion comes from, and you've got old wounded person, and that was coming from you selecting version of person that had their wall up and wasn't really deciding and was giving you mixed signals. Could you please see where we stand now? Okay, guys, is Jesus my soulmate? In my head, we are married. You have the Hierophant card here. So this is the thing. 7 of Cups, right? You've got 9 of Cups. This is your wish fulfillment. And then you're sort of like, oh, this is going to take a long time. He's not ready. I'm patiently waiting. I'm waiting. There's a lot here around waiting, patience, but your focus is on the outside too much and on the old story. So please do go away and look a little bit more into the law and shifting like your state, and forget about everything that had happened before and just start deciding, if you were embodying the state of a person that is wholly and completely chosen, loved and married and in a stable relationship with this person, how would you feel? And then start making assumptions that that is what you have because it exists. When I try to move on, spirit block it. Okay, well, spirit is also you, honey. It's your higher self, right? Like, so it's your desire. Like, if you have a desire, it's already there. So you can trust your intuition, right? Let's see, second chance. This relationship deserves a second chance, but there's been a lot of indecision. Okay, and then we have wait. The timing is not quite right. Blocks, unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement, and then someone has regret for the way they treated you. So what we have here is an old thing that keeps going around and around. And I want you to go, and I want you to, oh, teddy bear, cute. All right. So you're focused on the divine timing story. You're focused on waiting and waiting for this to have a revival. There's obviously a wound between you and this person, and the wound, there is some like level of regret, and then you were over giving, you were giving too much, not getting as much back. So as I said to you, I encourage you, disconnect from old version of Miss Ward, okay, and identify as new version of Miss Ward, because even if it's your twin, it's a mirror, and the mirror is, if it's a twin, it's a very intense mirror, so it's like provoking very like intense triggers, and it's a very intense chemistry. But treat your twin like you would anything else in terms of what is the version of myself that I'm selecting now. I'm not selecting version of self that has that belief about myself, that I'm not chosen, that people that love me don't love me back, that I'm rejected, that I'm, you know, not wanted, it's not enough. I'd like to ask if we go. Okay, guys, to be honest with you, I had said earlier, my name is Lupita. Is Jesus in love with me? Can you pull a few? Okay, guys, I'm going to have to actually hop off because I said earlier that I wasn't feeling that well. Oh, Miss Ward, it's my pleasure. And I do hope that that helped. I really do. I'm going to come back on, honestly, and do more cards for everyone. And I'm sorry that, oh, thank you, Sammy Poo. I will come back on, I think, you know, post eclipse. I'm going to try to do this, guys, more regularly every week, a couple of times a week, and I will pull the cards for you guys. But I think I have to dip out now because I'm not feeling 100%. And I'd also rather not read when I'm not 100%. Take care of you. I watch your posts all the time. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. Where are you? Someone asked me. I'm in LA. Thank you, and please take care of yourself. I'll set up notifications. Great. I appreciate the content. Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you. I'm going to, because you can't repost full live replays here because they're too long. So I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel, guys, and you can rewatch the replay if you want to have a refresher on some of the stuff I was talking about regarding states and my tips. When are you coming back on? I'm in the UK. I think I'll be coming back on the weekend again around this time. If earlier if I can, but my schedule's a bit packed with private clients and other filming and other commitments. Amazing, I thought Oz. No, not in Oz, in LA. But I am Aussie. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you, and thank you. Get well soon. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sending you guys so much love. Brace yourself. For those of you that are feeling the eclipse, you know, tomorrow, the 8th, it's going to be that conjunction between the sun and the moon and Chiron, and it could be quite intense. Some of you might have been feeling some emotions and some things coming up, or just like a lot of energy. So try to just take it easy and like ground yourself. And it's also collective, so you could be picking that up from other people. But yeah, just try to rest, or try to just enjoy yourself. Do whatever feels good. Is there a reason I'm feeling low, Sonbon? Yeah, like I've also been feeling a bit low. Yeah, Miss Ward, I'm going to post it. I'm going to repost this entire replay like I did with my last live. And I will do that later today. And then you can watch like the whole video, and anyone else that has just joined that missed out. And I was explaining a lot about the law of assumption and states, and Miss Ward's reading that I did. Okay, guys, I'm sending you tons of love. I'm going to dip out. Thank you, Miss Ward. All right. Love you guys so much. Have a great day.